watching on YouTube and all the ISL fans out there. Welcome back to another episode of Meet the Coaches. We are here with, I'm here with my co-host. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Hi, I'm Xavier, coach of the Dallas Victory Stars.
I probably should introduce myself since I normally always do that first. I don't know why I didn't do that this time. I am Ty 23, coach of the Miami Heat Trans, and we are here today with one of the newest members of the season. Sort of came in a little late. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Hey everyone, I am Ozbangb, or APB Pansears. I am the coach for the Carolina Pansears,
Alright.
and yeah, it was an interesting way I got in.
And we won't get into too much of the details, but pretty much he took over for another team who is no longer with us. So he already had a draft sort of picked out for him, and he had the choice of picking, switching out four of his mons, and he'll discuss whether he only changed out one of them, but we'll go into detail a little bit later about why he picked certain mons to stay and why he decided to change other mons. But the first question for you, sir, is when did you start playing Pokemon?
Well, f- Round Ruby, Emerald. Emerald was my first actual physical copy. Um, but I always had my cousins playing Red and Gold and Crystal. And I always played with their games. So technically Emerald, but emotionally since Red.
No, not bad, not bad. Alright. So when did you start competitive battling then?
Uh, this year.
That works.
With the introduction of the new Megas, or like
Yeah,
late X and Y.
I just got into PokeTubing and I thought, hey, this is actually pretty good, and these are pretty competitive, and it feels like a Pokemon game still. So that got me into it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Alright, so let's begin to discuss the whole draft situation. You already had a team picked out for you due to coming in after the draft, and you, like I said before, you had a choice of switching out four Mons, but you ended up only choosing one of those Mons to switch out and pick up a different Mon. So let's first talk about the first Mon that was as would have been your first draft pick if this is actually your team in Mew. Why did you decide to keep Mew on your team?
Because it was an all-round, probably one of the best picks you could choose. Even though I didn't choose it, I still thought it would be a strong pick. Um, and it can do so much that I don't think people can actually counter it.
Yeah, definitely.
You're right over there, Davey. There's a lot of background noises coming out of your on your side.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there's a lot of like crackling and all that.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing that.
Well, it's
I
in
can
your
hear
room.
like a little bit of my brother in the background, but I'm surprised if you can pick that up.
Well, it sounds like a lot of crackling. Like someone's like trying to open up a bag of chips. It sounds like.
Well, he's definitely not trying to do that.
But it quieted down now. But I was concerned. I was like, that sounds really loud.
I mean, if you want me to, I can go ask him to keep it down for you.
No, I don't think it's. I think it might just be the connection. Honestly, I don't think it's him. It's like because it's whenever you speak, it sort of counteracts it. But it's just whenever someone else is speaking, it starts sounding like there's like a crackling noise on there. So
Well, I'll see what I can do to try and fix that. I'm assuming we're cutting this out, right?
uh,
Or are we just gonna keep going? Because,
let's
Josh
just
and
keep.
that's fun.
Well, let's just keep going. So the next mon you decided to keep was Fortress.
Fortress is a pretty good tank. Uh, it's a bit slow, but there wasn't a lot of options I could pick that would have been better.
It was definitely a good rapid spinner. Having a four times weakness fire sort of sucks, but you have other things to counteract that on your team. But a really good physical mon that can be run, and getting rid of hazards really easily with rapid spin is definitely going to come in handy.
Yeah.
hmm Also, its physical attack really isn't that bad.
Gyro Ball will do a lot to those fairy types, especially Mega Gardevoir.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You could even run like Earthquake or Bug Bite or
Explosion!
oh yeah, Choice Banded.
That would really hurt somebody really badly.
Yeah, it
Really.
might be.
really cripple some of those physical walls out there.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so your next mon, which honestly is probably one of the scariest mons in this format, in Hydreigon.
Yeah, there was no way I was going to change that.
I mean, it's you can run majority of the time people run special, but you could run a physical variant if you really wanted to.
Yeah, and as you're just saying, I guarantee if you dropped Hydreigon, that's going to be the first thing picked up in free agency.
Well, what tier is Hydreigon in?
Uh,
It's BL. So honestly, the actual correction, in free agency, it's only UU or below is allowed for free agency. So technically, no one would have been able to pick up Hydreigon.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's
So
Well,
still
at least
good.
he kept it, so we'll see it around.
it's definitely a good mon. It can have a wide assortment of moves it can learn. It's very versatile in its moveset, so you really have plenty of coverage for anything it can go against. And then Choice Specs is going to do a lot of damage to a lot of things.
Definitely will.
It's
Plus,
definitely,
speed is really good. So, like, you could just speed creep. Like, if your opponent has a slow team, you just speed creep with Hydreigon, run choice specs, and just drop a Draco every single time you come in and get a kill. Unless they have Fairy.
yeah. Your next mon is another more defensive on the special side in Rotom Heat.
Yeah, I thought it was probably the best pick I could have kept, due to it being one of the only fire types that I had. If I got rid of it for maybe a different fire type, I just don't feel like it would cover a lot more bases.
Mhm.
So I decided to keep it just for that.
Yeah, I mean, Overheat is still going to do a lot. So you can run a special attacking variant if you really wanted to, and it'll still kill plenty of work. Having the Volt turn, and then Hydreigon with U-turn, that Volt turn action is definitely going to come in handy. You'll have a lot of switch initiative with those two mons, so it's definitely.
Oh, yeah. Another thing to point out is your first 4 picks all can either Volt Switch or U-turn.
That's really good. That's really going to come in handy because that type of momentum in a game can really come in handy. Especially late game. Late game could really bring the momentum back to you and help you win the game. So there's something like that for. Now your next mon is another sort of physical mon. It's a very good physical dark type in Mandibuzz.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent pick. I saw the other flying types that I wanted picked, so I decided to keep it. It's gonna be a surprise pick, in my opinion.
I mean, with Overcoat, it's going to be very nice because then if someone tries to like spore you, you can just switch that in, and then you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets knockoff and default, which are two really important moves in this format. So knockoff is really going to come in handy, especially if you have to go against that the Chansey.
I think I do actually at one point. I'm not sure.
Let us see. Do you go against Chansey?
Actually, you don't, because you're in my division,
Yep.
and we don't face.
I thought we fought in the 10th week. That'd be a mistake.
Now in your 10th week, you're going against Xavier with Dallas Victory Stars.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, we're in the blue division. We don't go against the silver division, so you don't have to worry about Chansey.
It's definitely gonna be a positive thing, but still, knockoff's gonna be really good. So.
Oh yeah, no one wants to deal with Chansey.
No. Your next pick was definitely well, the next mon you just had to keep. When it was drafted, I honestly was surprised that it got drafted. I didn't think anyone would actually pick it up in Deontay.
It was the only fairy type that this format really had, and my draft was. So I decided to keep it because I didn't think there was going to be a better one. And it works with the team somewhat well. So those are the reasons why I kept it.
And it has a good physical defensive stat, and then with Diamond Storm, 50% chance of increasing your defense. So, be a really good defensive wall if you really needed to.
Yeah, with a little luck, Diamond Storm can definitely be pretty annoying and hard to get around, especially if you also run like Calm Mind, I believe it gets.
Yeah.
So just run a Calm Mind Diamond Storm set, just increase all his defenses, and it's gonna stay there for a while unless someone gets a random crit.
With my luck, I'm never gonna get a crit.
Yeah, with your luck. Your next mon, I think the reason why the original person chose this was you sort of were lacking speed a little bit on a lot of your mons. They were a lot slower. I think Mew was your fastest mon on the team, if not.
Yeah.
So everything else, sticky webs is really gonna come in handy. So Galvantula was definitely an interesting pick, and plus it's an electric bug typing that you sort of need on your team at this point. So
Yeah, it's my only bug type.
Mhm.
I don't know how well it's gonna work. I have plans for it. Um, but yeah,
I mean, Compound Eyes Thunder is definitely gonna be really good. So.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
Then you can run like Energy Ball, Sticky Webs, Bug Buzz for all those psychic types out there.
Mhm.
It doesn't have weakness to ground, which is nice due to the bug typing. I think its only weaknesses are rock, uh, rock, fire. Might be it. Because I know electric resists flying, so. I think that's all the weaknesses it has. I could be wrong. Galvantula. That's where we have the internet to check these things out.
Yep.
Uh,
It also gets bounce,
It does. Oh my god.
Yeah.
which is definitely a fun move.
Yeah, it's only weak to rock and fire, so stealth rocks aren't going to be the greatest friend for you, but getting only having those two weaknesses is definitely going to come in handy. And then it resists fighting, steel, grass, and electric, so that's not a bad. I mean, with Diancie being 4 times weak to steel, having Galvantula there is really going to come in handy for that.
Mhm. You could even try some spider web shenanigans.
yeah,
It's gets gastro acid if you really want to be real. Run gastro acid. Or get sucker punch, so you can have that little bit of priority on there. You can learn set up the rain, set up screens, another volt switch action going on. Infestation if you want to trap something in. It can run it can run pursuit, so you can try to pursuit trap something. On Giga Drain, so if you want to try to get some HP back, it runs a decent amount. And then his special attack is 97, but his physical attack is not that bad at 77. I mean, it's not horrible. So you could put a little bit of physical attack investment in there and try to use that to your advantage. So
You could.
now next, you decided to keep your Mega and instead of trading out for a different one, you kept Mega Aerodactyl.
yeah. I feel like that's a fairly strong pick, and I didn't think there was any need to change it. I was really lacking in flying myself, and I thought it was a decent pick.
I mean, with he's probably one of the fastest. I think if not, he might be the fastest Mega.
He's got like base 150 speed, and I don't think there are any megas that can touch that.
I didn't think so either.
At least not off the top of my head.
Not off the top of my head, I don't think there is any.
Like Mega Electric is fast, but not that fast.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Megalopony, no, the thing's like base 135.
I'm looking at Mega Gengar.
Mega
Maybe.
Mega Alakazam.
Is Alakazam faster?
I think Mega Alakazam might actually be the same speed.
I can double check real quick.
I think it is.
It is. They speed tie.
I think Mega Gengar might outspeed, but you don't have to worry about that since Mega Gengar is an Uber, so it's not in this format.
Yeah. Gengar is a base 130, so it's not outspeeding.
No, it is not. So, it's being one of the two fastest Megas in the game, it's definitely not something for people to sleep on. So,
Yeah,
and with
it definitely is.
with a really high physical attack stat and then tough claws, so any like contacting damaging moves it's gonna do damage. So like head smash and like if you learn Brave Bird, let's say Brave Bird, but doesn't learn Brave Bird. So your flying stab is gonna suffer a little bit due to not having Brave Bird, but.
And another good thing about the whole speed tying without Mega Alakazam thing is in a lot of Mega Alakazam's matches, it's going to be able to run Modest.
Yeah, definitely. So you can run a
But
timid.
against you, it can't afford to do that. It's going to have to run like timid max speed.
Hmm. And then hope that he can hit like a thunderbolt or something and take you out. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a good mega. So people should not sleep on. It's definitely a good one out there.
Yeah.
Now your next mon, you decided to keep Krogunk.
Yeah.
So what made you want to keep Krogunk?
Powerful Krogunk who needs Toxicroak.
Yeah.
Yeah, toxic
I
whatever.
I thought that a good poison would be good, just for either stalling or to keep out there. I didn't see that much wrong with it.
I mean, it's a good fighting stab that you didn't have before. I believe it gets Mach Punch. I know it gets Sucker Punch.
It might.
Toxic Croak. But I mean, I know it gets Skunk Shot, which Skunk Shot on a lot of the fairy types right now is gonna do a lot of damage to it.
Yeah.
I mean, with this attack stat 106, it's definitely gonna do some really good work in it, and it only has three weaknesses in Flying, Ground, and Psychic. Well, Psychic is four times weakness, which I mean you have Mana Buzz and Hydreigon and another Dark type, which we'll talk about next, that will be immune to it. So you have ways around it. But it does get Sucker Punch, Poison Jab, uh, Low Sweep, Low Kick.
Mm-hmm.
You could run
Elemental
special if you really
punches.
wanted to with Dark Pulse and Focus Blast.
Actually, before I did competitive and I didn't really understand base stats, I always ran a special Toxicroak on like Battle Revolution with my brother in the Wii.
Nice.
I just cause Hyper Beam's animation in that game was amazing,
It really was.
and I always just ran Hyper Beam Toxicroak.
It does get Bullet Punch, so you can use that against fairies as well. It gets Fake Out. Uh, gets Vacuum Wave.
Mm-hmm.
Gets Ice Punch. Thunder Punch. It doesn't get Fire Punch for some reason, but it gets Ice Punch and Thunder Punch.
I guess because it's got that dry skin.
Yeah. It gets Super Fang. So it definitely has some options. It gets Bounce as well. So you definitely have some options there which you can run with it. So it's definitely a good mon that just me, a Psychic's not gonna be the greatest on it, but if you can just get around those Psychic types with your three Dark types that you have, I think you'll do fine.
And you also could run Sub Focus Punch.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is definitely true. Instead of one Swords Dance, that Focus Punch is gonna do a lot of damage. So now your the next mon was the only mon that you decided to trade out. Originally you had Clawitzer, but then you traded out for a Spirit Tomb. Talk about that pick.
I thought Spiritomb would be good for status, just a status build. Its only weakness is fairy, and I thought I have like fortress and I have other ways around that, so I didn't think it was that bad of a pick. Um, it might have been better to keep Clotis, but I feel like this is the better pick.
I mean, it's definitely an interesting pick. Like you said, it learns a lot of good statuses. I believe it gets Shadow Sneak and Sucker Punch. I think. Could be
Yeah, I'm
wrong.
pretty sure.
So it has really good priority there with that. You can toxic things. You can will-o-wisp things. It's really it's. I mean, it has really good stats as well. I don't know off the top of my head what his defensive stats are. Um, but it's definitely something that people should not again not sleep on, and it's. I mean, I personally would have rather seen possibly you dropping maybe Vileplume, the next one we're gonna talk about for it. But that's just my personal opinion. But I, mean, I can see why he needed an RU anyway, so you had to drop an RU for an RU.
Yeah.
You know what I love?
Hmm.
How courteous my neighbors are. They're being so courteous.
um, but with Spiritomb, it has 100 base 108 defense and special defense, so you can run a physical or special wall with it. It's really gonna be nice. It still has one weakness to fairy, has a resistance to poison, and it's immune to normal fighting and psychic. So it really helps out there a lot. You can run a memento set if you really need to. Um, you can do Hypnosis Dream Eater, you can do Infestation, you can do Giga Impact, you could do Recall Mindset,
Nasty plot.
Destiny Bond, Foul Play, Pain Split, uh, then there's Water Pulse. I mean, it has a lot of different options. You can run tricks, so you can try to run twist, corruption, twist with it, and pass off a trick to like Chansey or something.
hmm It's a nice will-o-wisp user.
hmm So it definitely has some viability that, unfortunately, we did not get to see be used a lot in the GBA since I don't remember who had it, but they eventually ended up dropping it for Sigalith. I think it was John that had it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Dropped it for Sigalith, so we didn't get to see much use of it in the GBA, but hopefully we'll see it more here in this league. So
Could happen.
now your last one that you were given was Vileplume, a very good, I guess you can say, a fairy blocker with its bulky poison typing. Talk about that.
Yeah. My main reason for keeping Vileplume and not ditching it was because with the grass poison, it's pretty good against pretty much anything. It's a tanky type, which can poison someone with Black Sludge. There's a lot of combinations that can work with my team. Um, yeah.
No, I mean you can run it as a really good wall, or like we've seen with how Dan used it, a really powerful special attacker. So it's something that
Yeah.
people should not sleep on with that, because people think always going to be I mean, it's tank. Not always. I mean, it has 5 resistances in fighting, water, grass, electric, and fairy.
hmm
I mean, it doesn't have 4 times weakness, so that's a good thing. It's only weak to flying, fire, psychic, and ace. Which the psychic is only added to it by the poison typing. Everything else is by the grass, so that's something you have to worry about. But I mean, having base special attack of 110, and then everything else besides the speed is pretty average. So like you can run a special defensive one, a physical defensive one. You can run a physical one if you really feel like you could. I mean, it doesn't really have the moves for a physical one, but you can run Razor Leaf if you really want to, or Seed Bomb. But with Synthesis and Giga Drains and Leech Seed, it's really gonna. You can also run Teeter Dance if you want to try to confuse something. But it's definitely gonna be a good mon that it would definitely come in handy for as a bulky variant if you definitely need it for one of those bulky mons out there. So
hmm
definitely nice. Alright, so we would normally ask if you got sniped for anything, but you weren't actually here for that part, so you don't have to worry about that.
But was there anything like you saw in another team that you may have considered if it wasn't already drafted?
I think there was, but I don't remember off my head. Um, I think there's some things that I was considering, but I'm fairly happy with uh, what I got, so I'm happy.
Well, that's nice to hear since you did get come in late.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing to hear. You definitely have a good team there, which even with just the one change, it still is uh, a very strong uh, threat to a lot of people's teams. So it'll really come in handy. Um, so my next question for you is: who are you most excited to face so far in this season?
Uh, I've heard a
What
lot
do
of
you want,
hype
Tyler?
for Cameron. Um, so
I'm in the middle of
probably
something right now,
probably
Tyler. So
Cameron's
go
the
away.
one that I'm looking forward to. There isn't anyone that I'm dis you know, unhappy with. I'm happy with facing everyone. So yeah.
Well, that kind of shuts down our next question since it was who are you least excited to face? But
Yeah.
even though you're gonna have fun facing everyone, there could be someone who you maybe feel like you do have a slightly bad matchup against, and just feel like you like a match that you feel like you're gonna have a hard time winning. Is there anyone's like that?
Uh, there probably is. Let me just check. Um, I think my first matchup against Burke's going to be a bit of a problem, but well, at least something I'm not going to be happy with. But all in all, not really.
I think you're definitely going to have a really good matchup against a lot of people. Maybe Burke might give you a little problems, but I think everyone else you're going to have some decent matchups against, and that Mew is definitely going to cause a lot of kill problems because no one's ever going to know what set you're going to run with that Mew. So
This man
Yeah.
knows no fear.
he really doesn't. He loves the battle. He really
What's a
does.
Landorus Therian? What's a Curum? What's a Dragonite? What's a Weavile? What's a Victini? What's a Sylveon?
What's a
What's a
Gengar?
Mega Altaria? He doesn't care.
What's a Gengar with Choice Scarf?
Uh-huh.
Shadow Ball.
Yeah, what is that? He doesn't even care. Greninja and Talonflame? This man eats that for breakfast.
Mega Venusaur.
Frog
Oh wait, no.
flakes. He eats brave birds for breakfast, man.
He really does.
Doesn't even care.
Just eat up one of those explosions.
Hmm.
Alright, well, is there anything else you'd like to say about your draft or anything like that before we head out?
Not really, but I'm excited to start the ISL, and I'm happy to be here, and hopefully I'll be here in the future.
Well,
Uh-huh.
we're glad to have you. It's definitely, we're glad to be able to come in and partake in Season 1 and enjoy all the festivities. But with that, I'm TieFire23, and I'm here with my co-host Xavier, and we will see you all in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.